Once upon a time, my dad destroyed our family and started dating a stupid bitch.
If you haven't seen it yet, I'd like to introduce you to a fun binge watch on Netflix that came out last year in 2025 titled The Four Seasons. This is an adaptation of the 1981 film. It's only 8 episodes, 1 season for now. And what I love about this show is it's entertaining. It's about real life. It's raw and unfiltered. It's about the changing and different dynamics of romantic relationships as you grow as an adult. And also, it doesn't take up too much of your time. Like, the episodes are short, sweet, impactful, and to the point. Only 22 to 30 minutes of solid entertainment from a solid cast. Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Coleman Domingo, need I say more? 30 minutes of pure gold without all of the unnecessary filler content. I really do miss shows like this. Shows like this allow us to escape without dominating too much of our time. Like, I am so done with the 45-minute to 90-minute episodes. That's a movie at that point. Side rant aside, you saw the title of this video. But before I start, disclaimer, I have not seen every show or movie that Steve Carell has been in. But of what I have seen, this character in Four Seasons is his most despicable character yet in my eyes. I was first introduced to Steve Carell, like everyone else, from his character of Michael Scott in The Office. I have seen every episode of that show at least 4 times at this point. That's the show I used to have just playing in the background because it was just great TV. But Steve's character, Michael Scott, I wouldn't say was delightful, but lovable, human, and with arch nemeses and users like Jan Levinson or Ryan around, it's very easy to get on his side, despite the ignorance and cringe that often surfaced from him.
What a cute bench.
Thanks, that's my bed.
Really? Because it seems pretty narrow and short.
It's actually a lot bigger than it seems. Look at this.
See? He fits perfectly.
Then there's the role of Frank in Little Miss Sunshine, more serious subject matter now, but this character is hurt, vulnerable, and withdrawn in the beginning, but then pulls out of it all in the name of family.
He gets down to the end of his life, and he looks back and decides that all those years he suffered, those were the best years of his life, because they made him who he was.
The role of Brick in The Anchorman, clueless and cheerful, yet socially awkward but still kind.
I'm Brick Tamlin. People seem to like me because I am polite and I'm rarely late.
40-year-old virgin, Andy, a bit of a dork but innocent and harmless.
You know what my problem is? I am not interesting. What am I supposed to say? I went to magic camp?
And in The Big Short, how can we not like a truth teller amongst the den of thieves?
We live in an era of fraud in America, not just in banking, but in government, education. I just know that at the end of the day, average people are going to be the ones that are going to have to pay for all of this.
And I've only watched 1 episode of the morning show, so the jury's still out on that one.
I didn't fire anybody. I didn't jizz into a plant in front of somebody. You know what I did? I f***ed a couple of PAs and assistants. Big f***ing deal. No. I'm not proud of it, but what the f***? I didn't invent extracurricular sex.
But of what I've seen and remember, the many characters that Steve Carell has played have never made me so viscerally angry. And then I binged The Four Seasons. And within the first 15 minutes of the very first episode, I got grossly annoyed with Steve's character, Nick. And before I go into this, a summary of the show, this is about the decades-long friendship between 3 married couples being tested when one of the couples divorces, complicating their tradition of the quarterly weekend getaways. And in the very first episode, the show writers did a phenomenal job with setting this scene up where Nick and his wife Anne and the 2 other couples, they're all friends from college, are on one of their quarterly vacations. And initially we see Nick, Steve's character, with his wife Anne, joking, laughing together, seemingly having a good time. But then, while hiking with his friends, he drops this bomb that he's leaving his wife.
It's time for me to take hold of my life.
there somebody else?
No. It's not like that. It's Anne. I hate her.
On their 25th wedding anniversary. And by the way, the precursor to this conversation with his two friends is to ask if they are happy as well. Like, let's bond over our brooding and aging partners here. Are you really satisfied with your lives? Like, instead of having the courage to state his truth boldly, he needs his friends to be complicit and validate his feelings first. But he goes on to say, it's Anne, I hate her. Then he retracts it and is like, no, she's a kind woman. Like, no, sir, you really do hate your wife. So he doesn't want to be with his wife anymore, only because she's not exciting enough for him.
Do you have a question, Kelly?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
So what makes this cringe is not only has he brought his friends into it, who in turn let their partners know, so now they're into it too. So everyone knows that he's planning to leave her on their 25th wedding anniversary. Guess what Anne is doing? Planning a vow renewal ceremony. This show is a train wreck to watch. It's cringe and uncomfortable, but funny at the same time. Not because of the situation, but because it's written to be a comedy. So yes, this is so funny. A man leaving his wife after 25 years of marriage, and everyone knows but her, all because she's boring to him now. Anywho, what makes this character so unlikable, the villain to me, is not simply that he wants to leave his wife. Like, a man can do that, that's his prerogative. But it's the manner in which he did it. Then, as the show progresses, on the friend group's next couple's vacation, poor Anne is alone and sad, and has to be by herself while he goes on their trip with his newer, much younger, more exciting girlfriend, Jenny. And he's, of course, happier than he's ever been. How cliche. He's also an ass because he'll rub this newfound happiness in his friends' faces by saying ish like, I'm finally living, I'm alive. When was the last time you felt that way, guys? Essentially projecting that they aren't living life and must be unhappy since they haven't selfishly blown up their families for a chick that likes. And Anne has to see all of this, all the pictures with him and his new girlfriend, because their family cloud or iCloud account is still linked. So as the seasons go on, keep in mind the friend group vacations are quarterly, so it hasn't even been a full year when he decides to bring his new girlfriend Jenny to their daughter Lila's family college weekend, to where their daughter performs this masterpiece.
No, please, Father, don't leave us!
The penis wants what it wants.
We are born alone, we die alone, and in between, we lie to each other.
Jesus Christ.
The show ends with the couple's winter ski trip vacation. Anne finally can enjoy time alone with her friends and has a new man herself, while Nick is vacationing with his younger girlfriend Jenny's friends. And for the first time, he's not having so much fun. See, up until this point, Jenny has been an accessory of sorts to him, accompanying him in settings he's familiar with his friends. Now, around Jenny's friends, who are all much younger, he's out of place, uncomfortable, finding it hard to connect with this generation, and ironically isolates himself, much like how he's been isolating Anne this entire time. You can tell that he misses his friends. He misses their little inside jokes. He feels like he's missing out as he video chats with them and was really wishing that he was there with them on New Year's Eve instead of looking like a grandpa around all of these baby millennials. Things always come back full circle. Episode 7 gets really dark as this self-isolation causes a big argument between Nick and Jenny on New Year's Eve, leaving Jenny to go off and party with her friends while sad sap Nick goes out to the grocery store to get items for her and her friends to make up for his brutish behavior. Unfortunately, that night, Nick gets into a fatal car accident driving back and dies. I didn't know how to feel about this. It was shocking to say the least. Given Nick's selfish behavior and blowing up his family and friend group out of boredom, one thought is, well, he was exactly where he wanted to be, right? But on the other hand, you could sense a little regret on his last day because, ironically, being with Jenny's friends was tough, and obviously he is missing the life, comfort, and familiarity of his people. He wanted the best of both worlds, friends who got him and his upgraded blonde bombshell. In the last year of his life, apart from his last day, Nick spent it on a high, on his own terms, dropping what he saw as dead weight and living a fun and fantastical life to the fullest. All of that at the expense of everyone around him. I guess the biggest question is, was it all worth it? Admittedly, in the end, I went from despising this character to feeling sorry for him. And as far as I'm concerned, Steve Carell is the only actor that could have played this role because he's the only one that can pull you from being on this hate train to thinking, someone give that man a hug. I think the show was trying to convey some sort of karmic cycle of what a mockery of your life could and will be if you turn your back on and betray the people who love you most. If you've seen this adaptation or the original film, would love to hear your thoughts. Signing off now, your friend, Dom.